Hello everyone, Shroomraver here, and today I'm excited to be bringing you my Week 7 game from Season 2 Division 1 of the Pokemon Premier League. Yes indeed. Now, today we are facing off against Colton, aka Shadow Gaming Hub, and yeah, I'll go over my team really quickly. I've got Victini, Scyther, Thundurus Incarnate, Sandslash, Mega-Audino and Tyrantrum. Now, if you want to see sort of a more in-depth analysis of that team, you know, all the sets, the moves, the Eevees, everything you need to know about that team and the reasons why, there will be a team builder in the description. The link to that video will be down there. So, you know, if you want to see more details of my thought process behind building this team, definitely go and check that out, because that will give you much more of an insight into what we are doing. Now, Colton's team. As you can see, he's on the near side. By the way, we're on Showdown, I should say, as you've obviously seen. Colton, unfortunately, is unable to get onto Wi-Fi battling at the moment, so we're just going to do it on Showdown. That's absolutely fine. He has got Mega Venusaur, Arcanine, Jellicent, Crobat, Haxorus, and Mesprit. A few surprises there. No Crocodile, and no Klefki. I was expecting both of those. No Crocodile means less chance of pursuit trapping on Victini, and much more freedom for my Thundurus. I was pleasantly surprised to see the Venusaur. I didn't think he would bring it, and I have ways around it if he did, so I was happy to see that on the team. And by the way, I should say, I got a little bit of stick in the team building video for saying that Colton does not have a spin blocker. He has a Jellicent, which is a perfect spin blocker. So, that's that out of the way. The plan essentially has not changed here. You know, I'm looking still for that sort of late game sweep with Scyther if I can get it. But I was seeming a bit more confident about this team, not seeing the likes of Crocodile and Klefki. So, I was sort of feeling pretty good about this one. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into the battle and see how things played out. So, I'm going to be leading off with Bohemian versus Jellicent. This is grand for me. I'll go for Volt Switch first turn, no reason not to, and do a huge amount of damage, go into Audino as he goes for the trick. Right here I'm going to pause very early on. Now, when he went for trick, my first thought, instantly upon seeing it, was his choice. He's Trick Scarf or Trick Specs. Now, this would be realistic because my Thundurus, depending on his spread, I think, can outspeed a Scarfed Jellicent. And the reason it was on my mind was because I've been thinking about it shortly before the battle. You know, this idea that Scarfed Jellicent could put in a lot of work against me. So, I was instantly worried about that. Now, my thought should have been, why would he trick a choice item onto a mon that can use it better than him? He's clearly EV'd to take a hit from Thundurus. He's got an item that's going to cause Thundurus problems. But I didn't think that. In my mind, he's choiced. So, as we get back into the game, I'm going to Mega up and go for a Reflect, predicting his switch out, as he actually goes for Toxic, so he's not choiced at all. And then the next turn we exchange Toxics, neither of us can do much to the other. But he is at a very low amount of health. He's going to want to get on out of there and go into his Crobat, as I just go for a Wish. Now, I can take any hit behind a Reflect. He goes for U-turn, I guess, predicting my switch, and goes into his Jellicent again as I just go for the Ice Beam. Now, at this point, he's seen my full moveset, but, you know, that's fine. I'm okay with it. Here, I'm going to switch out into Thundurus, and Colton makes a very good play, and this time he does trick, and he gets a lagging tail onto my Thundurus. Now, this isn't so bad for my Prankster, but as you can see, he isn't going to outspeed me if I go for an offensive move. But it's okay, I do get the Volt Switch KO, and I go into my Victini. Of course, that tempts in the Arcanine. Now, at this point, I don't want to reveal I've got Toxic, because he might have the same for me, so I just go for U-turn, go into my Sandslash as he goes for Crunch and gets the defense drop. This is unfortunate, because while Sandslash could maybe take a few hits before, now it certainly can't. He does massive damage with Flare Bits and gets the burn as I go for Knockoff. Now, here I'm going to go for Knockoff again, just in case he predicts the Earthquake and goes into Crobat or Mesprit, and he takes me out. Now, he's going to go for Close Combat here, making the ballsy play staying into my Tyrantrum. I'm actually just going to be getting up Rocks here to put the pressure on him, and he lives to fight another day. He goes into Venusaur as I do go for the Head Smash, and this does massive damage. Much more of an offensive build. Now here, he goes for Knockoff, predicting my Victini, and I wish I could have predicted it, but he knocks off the lagging tail on my Bohemian, which means I can outspeed and take him out with Hidden Power Flying, which is grand. Now in comes this guy, the Crobat. My priority is to Thunderwave this thing. He goes for the U-turn, I guess, thinking I'll try and preserve this, but now it's paralysed. I go into Mesprit, and my instant thought is Taunt it, because he can Healing Wish. But it turns out he's wanted to go for the Rocks. That works out well for me as well. So I'm going to Volt Switch and go into my Victini, predicting the Ice Beam to take me out, and that's exactly what happens, which is absolutely fine. So, He's going to want to get out of here. He has the counter to this, which is Arcanine. But at this point, it's absolutely fine. I'm just going to go for the U-turn and go into my Audino. And here I make a bit of an over-prediction, because for me, this is his chance to Healing Wish. So I predict the Mesprit go into Lil Dun, but he just Morning Suns on me. This does give me an opportunity to go for Toxic. He over-predict goes for Flare Blitz, and now that this Arcanine is Toxic, I'm feeling much better about things. So I'm going to get out of there, go back into my Mega-Audino as he goes into the Crobat. This is fine. I can outspeed and get a Reflect up because he is paralysed, and he goes for Sky Attack, which I was not expecting in the slightest. Ice Beam doesn't take him out. He does unfortunately get paralysed. It wouldn't have done too much damage to me behind the Reflect, but the upshot of it is I get to take out the Crobat with an Ice Beam from Audino. Now I'm at bad health. Mesprit comes in. There's nothing I can do about him getting up the rocks, so I just go for the last gasp Wish. And Audino goes down, and my next one is going to get Wish back. Now I have an interesting opportunity to go into Scyther. I can take out Mesprit with a Bug Bite, absolutely fine, nice care for Scyther, and get the Wish back to full. In comes Haxorus. Now, I know I can take a Life Orb hit from this. My priority is now damage. I do good damage to go for D-Dance. I'm sure he doesn't have Rock Slide, he'd have gone for it before. He goes for Dragon Claw, Life Orb, I live it, and take out the Haxorus with a Bug Bite. Now, in comes the Arcanine. And I'm just going to pause it right here. The team's doing really well. It is 4-on-1. He has Arcanine, I have Victini, Scyther, Thundurus, and Tyrantrum. It would look like the game is sewn up, but it is not. Not yet. If there's one Pokemon that can bring it back for Shadow Gaming Hub Colton, it is going to be the Arcanine. And I'll tell you for why. He has the coverage to hit my team super effectively, and to be honest, given that it's got healing and its Toxic is reset to be as low as it can be from the start, I only have one Mon that can reliably take this thing out, and that is Tyrantrum. So at this point, in my mind, Colton has 3 plays he can make. 1, he can straight take out my Scyther right here, right now, with a Flare Blitz or a Crunch. Take some toxic damage and move on from there. 2, he can heal himself up to try and be at a better amount of health to take on the rest of my team. He'll take a hit from Scyther very easily, he'll even take 2, and he can go from there. Or 3, given that he really doesn't have much to lose at this point, he can go for the close combat, predicting my switch into Tyrantrum. If I was going to save differential, I'd go into Tyrantrum, but I can't take 2 close combats, and he outspeeds me. So in my mind, those are his 3 options. Now in each of those cases, my play here is to go for Swords Dance, and I'll tell you for why. Option 1, he takes me out, whatever. He takes recoil damage if he goes for Flare Blitz, he takes toxic damage, I can revenge him. Option 2, he heals up, I outspeed, go for Swords Dance. I know that he doesn't have extreme speed by now, and I can be at +1 and hit him very hard before he takes me out, and take him down to pretty much where he already was. And option 3, he goes for close combat, I go for Swords Dance, I live it, and I kill him, basically. Those are my options. So, as we can see, I'm just going to go for the Swords Dance right here. Colton chooses option 2, heal up with Morning Sun, which is fine, because now I force him to kill me. I go for the Aerial Ace, it does massive damage, and down I go to the Crunch. And now I can just bring in Tyrantrum for free. He has to heal up, he doesn't have a choice, he needs to bank on me missing a Head Smash, but this is well tried Tyrantrum, it does not miss the Head Smash, and that is going to be the game. So, as I say, that is going to be this game. We managed to take a 3-0 victory over the Osaka Eevees and Colton. Things seemed to go pretty well in that one. You know, there were a few things that I didn't expect him to bring that he did, but we did manage to have that contingency in place to deal with those. Thundurus putting in a massive showing, nice little showing from Scyther too. Sandslash, you know, it continues to not do as well as I'd like, but it puts in a shift even when it doesn't do too much, so I'm okay with it. And always nice to have Tyrantrum get that final KO of the game. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What that means, astonishingly, is that Parasect Germain are 7-0. Didn't see that one coming. It's just the best season so far, and we really hope to continue that season. Now, that's going to be difficult because next week, or I suppose we should say later this week, the coach standing in our way is none other than Jack, aka the Don Fanatic, aka the coach of Norwich Skitty, aka the man who brought this whole thing together and made this league possible. He was the brains behind the operation. He created this league. Now, it wouldn't be a PPL match between me and Jack if I didn't mention that little throwback to last season when we did get the first recorded 6-0 in PPL history against him. However, this season's Jack is not the same as last season's Jack. He's a much better player now, he's had a lot of good practice, and he's doing very well for himself with a very nice team. So, it's going to be difficult to break it down, but we're going to give it our best shot. Can we do it? Of course we can do it. But you know, that's going to be a story for next week, or as I said, later this week. As for now, head down to the comments, the description I should say, and check out links to the PPL Twitter and YouTube as ever for all things PPL to keep up to date with transfers, news, coach information, and everything going on in Division 2, which is of course running parallel this season. Everything you need to know can be found in those links, so do make sure you go and check them out. Equally, links in the description to Colton, Shadow Gaming Hub, our opponent from this week. Do make sure you check out his links as well. He's a fantastic guy, very good friend of mine. You'll be able to see his side of this battle, his other battles going on when he can get them uploaded, and all the rest of his fantastic content, so make sure you head over there. You're doing yourself a favour. But, you know, as for this week, we end it off 7-0, things are looking really good. Can we continue this? You better believe we can. So, keep supporting Parasect Germain, guys. We are going for the top. But, that's going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. And I guess with that, I'll see you next time. Laters.